As we descend into the darker layers of the ocean, something remarkable happens. The fish we think we know begin to transform. Their bodies stretch, twist, and distort into bizarre and haunting forms. Mouths become enormous traps. Bodies may turn transparent, soft, or balloon-like. Some fish generate light from their own skin. Others vanish completely into the black, using invisibility as their shield. Among the many extraordinary life forms found here, 3 major groups of fish have evolved along fundamentally different paths, each mastering the deep in its own way. The bony fish, Osteichthyes, the jawless fish, Agnatha, and the Cartilaginous fish, Osteichthyes, one of the ocean's most flexible and formidable survivors. The most diverse and numerous of all vertebrate groups, ray-finned fish form the largest branch of the bony fish lineage. Their variety is astonishing. In the crushing blackness of the midnight zone, more than 1,000 meters below the ocean's surface, lives one of the deep sea's most terrifying hunters. The fang-tooth fish. Though barely the length of a human hand, the fang-tooth possesses the largest teeth relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. These dagger-like fangs are so long, in fact, that the fish has evolved special sockets in its skull to sheath them, allowing it to close its mouth. Equipped with an intricate network of pressure-sensitive pores along its head and body, the fang-tooth can sense the faintest disturbances in the water, allowing it to detect even the slightest movement from prey or predator alike. A hard, calcified skeleton and a gas-filled organ called the swim bladder, which allows these fish to control their buoyancy with precision. In a zone where sunlight never penetrates and food is scarce, the fang-tooth is a relentless predator. It's often called the most voracious fish in the midnight zone, not just for its appetite, but for its sheer aggression. It doesn't hesitate to attack prey nearly half its own size. In the quiet expanse of the open ocean, where mystery drapes every corner, glides one of the ocean's most elusive giants. The oarfish, the longest bony fish in the world. With a body that can stretch up to 11 meters long, the oarfish swims not with its tail, but by sending rhythmic waves along its dorsal fin. A mesmerizing undulation that lets it move both vertically and horizontally with almost no effort. Using this method, the oarfish commutes easily between the surface and the deep, descending hundreds of meters below, sometimes as deep as 1,000 meters, in search of food. The oarfish is believed to feed on tiny crustaceans, plankton, and jellyfish, capturing them in the open water with its toothless mouth, more of a filter than a trap. Among the coral reefs and coastal shallows of the Indo-Pacific and Atlantic, the lionfish reigns with quiet menace. Its beauty is undeniable, but so is its danger. Venomous spines line its dorsal fins, delivering a powerful sting to any predator or human bold enough to get too close. The pain is intense and, in some cases, medically serious. But the lionfish is not just armored, it's also clever. Its fan-like pectoral fins serve a dual purpose. They make the fish appear larger, and more importantly, allow it to corral smaller fish, herding them directly into its waiting mouth. Above the surface, an entirely different strategy plays out. Meet the flying fish, a marvel of escape and speed. With an explosive burst, these fish use their wing-like pectoral and pelvic fins to launch themselves out of the water, reaching speeds of over 56 kilometers per hour. Once airborne, their rigid, aerodynamic fins act like wings, allowing them to glide for up to 200 meters in a single flight. For these fish, flight isn't about showing off, it's about escaping predators lurking below. In the lightless depths of the abyss, where pressure crushes and sunlight dies, the rules of survival are rewritten. Here lives one of the deep sea's most haunting predators, the anglerfish. Unlike surface hunters, the anglerfish doesn't chase its prey, it lures it. One of its dorsal spines has evolved into a long, flexible filament tipped with a glowing orb, known as the esca. Bioluminescent bacteria living within the esca produce the ghostly light. It's a perfect trap. In the total darkness of the deep, anything that shines becomes irresistible. When prey draw near, mistaking the light for food or a mate, the anglerfish strikes. With a mouthful of inward-facing teeth, escape becomes almost impossible. This terrifying predator, seemingly plucked from a nightmare, is actually a master of adaptation. Closely related to the anglerfish, the frogfish is a master of disguise. With a body shaped like a sponge or lump of coral, it blends seamlessly into the sea floor. Unlike most fish, the frogfish doesn't swim. Instead, it crawls using its stubby, leg-like pectoral and pelvic fins. A bizarre, bottom-bound gait that suits its ambush hunting style. Lightning-fast suction feeding allows it to engulf prey in as little as 6 milliseconds. Benthic invertebrates, small crustaceans, worms, and other bottom dwellers are its primary targets. Even deeper, another predator has taken the art of stillness to an evolutionary extreme. Meet the tripod fish, a ghostly sentinel of the abyss. Using elongated fin rays, the tripod fish suspends itself almost a meter above the seabed, standing motionless while it waits for food to drift by. This posture is more than just a hunting stance. It's a necessity. In the deep sea, currents are virtually non-existent. Food doesn't swim to the fish. The fish must wait for the current to deliver it. With almost no light, limited oxygen, and crushing pressure, life in the deep is slow but precise. Every movement is measured. Every adaptation is critical. Over 400 million years ago, in the dawn of vertebrate evolution, two great lineages of fish emerged. One would become the sleek, agile swimmers we know today, ray-finned fishes with their delicate fan-like fins. The other took a different path. Lobe-finned fishes had thick, jointed fins filled with bones, early blueprints of arms and legs. From them came the first landwalkers, and eventually all amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals, including us. but one ancient lobe-finned fish survived the ages. Thought extinct for over 65 million years, the coelacanth stunned the world when it was rediscovered in 1938, alive. Living in the ocean's twilight zone, around 200 meters deep, coelacanths emerge from lava rock caves at night to hunt. With fleshy fins, they paddle through the water, using a motion strikingly similar to four-legged walking. Their bodies are built for a different time. A hinged skull allows the top of their head to swing open, widening their jaws to engulf unsuspecting prey in one powerful suction. They are not our ancestors, but they are our ancient cousins. In every beat of their fins, we see echoes of our own deep origins. The coelacanth is not just a survivor, it's a living memory of evolution itself. But bone is not the only path evolution has taken. Some fish build their bodies from something far more flexible: cartilage. Two major classes of fish share this trait. Jawless fish, known as Agnatha, and the Chondrichthyes, which includes sharks, rays, and chimeras. The class Agnatha, meaning without jaws in Greek, comprises some of the most ancient and enigmatic species in the deep ocean. These fish stand apart not only because of their jawless anatomy, but also because of their ancient evolutionary roots. Unlike most modern fish, agnathans have retained a primitive body structure. With long eel-like forms, they may resemble more familiar fish at first glance, but they are fundamentally different. Only two primary living groups remain: the hagfish and the lamprey, each uniquely adapted for survival in the dark ocean depths. Hagfish are often called nature's garbage disposals, and for good reason. They dwell in the cold, deep waters, sometimes reaching depths of 5,000 meters, where they play a vital role as scavengers, consuming the carcasses of dead sea creatures. But far from being passive bottom feeders, they are marvels of adaptation. Armed with two-toothed dental plates, hagfish can latch onto a carcass and burrow deep into its flesh, ripping and tearing with surprising efficiency. Their most astonishing defense, however, is their slime. When threatened, a hagfish can unleash a thick, mucus-like substance that clogs the gills of predators and provides a slick escape route, an iconic adaptation in the deep sea. Lampreys, by contrast, are parasitic. Instead of scavenging, they attach themselves to live animals, fish, sharks, even whales, using a sucker-like oral disc lined with rows of sharp, conical teeth. Once latched on, they feed by siphoning blood and bodily fluids, leaving behind distinctive circular scars. Though typically non-lethal to their hosts, lamprey infestations can cause significant harm to weakened individuals or entire populations. Lampreys are often referred to as living fossils, preserving traits from Earth's earliest vertebrates. Their anatomy offers scientists invaluable insight into the evolutionary origins of all jawed animals. Both the hagfish and lamprey are significant from an evolutionary perspective. These fish represent some of the earliest forms of vertebrates, having evolved before the appearance of jawed animals. Their primitive anatomical features, such as the absence of jaws, offer a glimpse into how early vertebrates may have functioned. By studying these ancient species, scientists can trace the development of crucial vertebrate traits, including jaws, sensory systems, and internal skeletal structures that are now common in most fish. Remarkably, jawless fish like the hagfish and lamprey are believed to have first appeared over 500 million years ago. Despite their simple form, they have withstood extinction events, climatic shifts, and evolutionary competition, still thriving today in the deep, remote corridors of the ocean. Now, we dive into the third and perhaps the most fascinating class of fish, the Chondrichthyes, or cartilaginous fish. Unlike bony fish, Chondrichthyes are distinguished by their cartilage-based skeletons. This lighter, more flexible structure gives them agility and buoyancy, especially important for their often predatory lifestyles. Chondrichthyes can be divided into two main subclasses: elasmobranchi, encompassing sharks and rays, and holocephaly, consisting of chimeras, also known as ghost sharks. Among these, the elasmobranchs are the most diverse and visually striking. One of their defining traits is a skin covered in dermal denticles, tooth-like scales that reduce drag and turbulence. These rough, sandpaper-like structures give them speed, stealth, and a predatory edge. This adaptation proves vital for apex predators like the great white shark, which relies on surprise and power. In a burst of speed, it may breach the surface, exploding from below to snatch unsuspecting prey like seals in a dramatic display of evolutionary precision. Others, like the cookie-cutter shark, use a sneakier strategy. Small but formidable, it attaches to large animals and scoops out circular plugs of flesh, leaving signature wounds. This parasitic method allows it to feed efficiently without taking down its host, targeting everything from whales and dolphins to large fish and even, on rare occasions, humans. But in the deepest parts of the ocean, the goblin shark reigns as one of the most bizarre. Its flabby body and enlarged liver help maintain buoyancy in the crushing depths, often more than a kilometer below the surface. What sets it apart, however, is its extendable jaw, which can snap forward like a spring-loaded trap to capture prey in an instant. In a world where food is scarce, this strange mechanism is the difference between survival and starvation. Alongside sharks, the subclass Elasmobranchi also includes rays, flat-bodied bottom dwellers that glide along the ocean floor, feeding on small fish, mollusks, and crustaceans. One of the most mysterious groups of cartilaginous fish is the chimera, also known as ghost sharks. These enigmatic species diverged from a common ancestor with true sharks around 420 million years ago, evolving into a completely distinct classification, the holocephaly. Though related to sharks, chimeras now belong to a separate and unique subclass within the cartilaginous fish. Today, they endure as the only living representatives of this ancient lineage, survivors of a group that has weathered eons of evolutionary change. One of the most fascinating aspects of chimeras is their feeding behavior. In the pitch-black world they inhabit, they've developed remarkable methods to locate and catch prey. Some chimeras use their elongated snouts to probe through seafloor sediment, digging up hidden creatures like mollusks and small fish buried beneath the mud. Others are equipped with specialized sensory structures known as the ampullae of Lorenzini, tiny pores that detect electrical signals from living organisms. While these sensors are also found in sharks and rays, chimeras rely on them even more due to the lightless environments they call home. These electroreceptive abilities allow chimeras to see through darkness, tracking the faint bioelectric signals of unseen prey. In the deep ocean, where vision is nearly useless, this adaptation is essential for survival. Chimeras are as bizarre in appearance as their name suggests. Often described as patchworks of various animal features, they seem almost alien in form. Their morphology is unlike that of sharks or rays, and their distinctive look underscores why they are classified separately from both. Chimeras possess large, rounded heads that often appear oversized for their slender bodies. Their oversized, almost insect-like eyes are adapted to absorb the minimal light of the deep ocean, granting them sensitive night vision. The rest of their body can resemble a fantastical hybrid, with a body like a fish, wing-like pectoral fins, and a tapering tail. Some have even been described as having an elephant's trunk, bird's wings, and rabbit-like head, all rolled into one strange but elegant form. This ghostly appearance has earned them the name ghost shark, but more importantly, it reflects their unique evolutionary path, one shaped by millions of years in cold, high-pressure darkness, where only the most specialized creatures survive. And yet, in the deep, where we once believed life couldn't exist, nature continues to surprise us with forms more alien, beautiful, and resilient than we ever imagined.